Season 2 Reunion, Part 1, Post-Episode Discussion, thread by board _____. The cast of The Valley come together for their first reunion appearance following Season 2. Asterisk. Please use this episode discussion thread for all short, episode-related commentary. Low-effort/repeat posts will be directed here. All episode discussion threads can be found here, https://www.reddit.com/TheValleyTVShow/IBMBAH1TQQ after they go live.
Top comment by Full Wolverine 3994 3 days ago. I love how Jasmine and Zach quickly said, "Yes, you did, we saw the footage," as soon as Jack said he didn't shove Brittany.
Someone replied by Real Little Lurker 2 days ago. I hope this shows people what abusers/narcs are capable of. The fact they deny things that are actually filmed. Imagine what else they lie about.
Someone replied by playful_succotash_33 days ago. How was there footage of it?
Reply by Full Wolverine 3994 3 days ago. Brittany said it was on her ring cam.
Response by playful_succotash_33 days ago. Oh, I see. That's good. She has footage of it.
Reply by Full Wolverine 3994 3 days ago. It is. I wonder how or if it'll get used for their divorce.
Reply by playful_succotash_33 days ago. It's probably why Lala said she had him by the balls, or something when it comes to custody/visitation.
Reply by Asprintervan 3 days ago. At this point, I'd be shocked if there wasn't. A third of Jack's and Britt's story this season was literally security camera drama.
Reply by Turbulent Trust 207 3 days ago. Ring camera. That's the ring camera footage that has been talked about online for months. Response by playful_succotash_33 days ago. I must have missed that. Response by Turbulent Trust 207 1 day ago. It was maybe alluded to on the show once, but it has popped up on Reddit as a topic a few times. Response by playful_succotash_31 day ago. Yep, I got it now. Thanks. Someone replied by VRS Chikasana 2 days ago. It was on their ring cam. Lala said in the after show that when she saw it, she told Brittany to immediately leave because someone was going to end up dead. I'm not a fan of Lala, but that's chilling and should tell us how bad it was. Add to that, Brittany said this wasn't an unusual occurrence. The whole thing is so horrific. Reply by Dolly 724 3 days ago. Probably the ring camera. Response by Happy Chemistry 3058 3 days ago. Do people use those inside the house?
Reply by Chaotic Influencer 3 days ago. They make whole camera systems, not just doorbell cameras.
Response by Astaria Ariel 3 days ago. Sometimes. Most people don't have bushes inside their house, though, as far as I know, so it was probably an exterior camera.
Reply by Alarmed Condition 69 3 days ago. I don't use Ring, but I have Blink cameras in my house.
Someone replied by no_conclusion_4527 3 days ago, ring camera.
Reply by Dubslady 3 days ago. You're questioning it?
Response by playful_succotash_33 days ago. No, I didn't see the reunion yet. I was just curious where the footage came from. Calm down.
Response by that _literature_6853 2 days ago. She said it was from the Ring doorbell cam. Probably happened on their front porch or something?
Someone replied by Dubslady 2 days ago. No one was excited. I asked you a question. Tears of joy.
Reply by playful_succotash_32 days ago. That's so funny, duh.
Reply by Dubslady 2 days ago. Sensitive much? Jesus! It's Reddit, and about a reality show. Tears of joy. Tears of joy. Tears of joy. Tears of joy. Grow a pair. Reply by RSHNI67 3 days ago. Good for them. I don't get the Jasmine hate.
Someone replied by straight_childhood 38 3 days ago. For starters, she is boring AF. Brings absolutely nothing. With this, she is harping on the Danny situation, which is way blown up. Reply by Art and Hot Sauce 3 days ago. I would have been 100% okay with Jasmine harping on the Danny situation. She's the one it happened to, and she had every right. But actually, she didn't. Janet did. and she had nothing to do with it.
Reply by Nocturne_Gemini 3 days ago. Yeah, Jasmine is allowed to harp on her own sexual harassment. She's literally the victim. It's Janet weaponizing something that the victim told her not to repeatedly. For a storyline, that is the problem to me. But either way, Danny did drunkenly harass her, and she's allowed to figure out her feelings during this.
Someone replied by Mom Marty 3 days ago. Jasmine is allowed to figure out her feelings, but thanks to Janet, there's now viewer fatigue on the issue.
Response by EDPI Math 3 days ago. Exactly. The fans of this show really love to victim blame. Reply by Dubslady 3 days ago. Yes, WTF. Someone replied by RSHNI67 3 days ago. Me too. Her main complaint was that she was not being heard because Finney kept butting in, but they dismissed her concerns.
Response by Amy Catherine Che 3 days ago. Agree. If Jasmine was talking about it, fair enough.
Someone replied by Ashmilly 3 days ago. Hope you're giving Janet the same energy. Response by Happy Chemistry 3058 3 days ago. The hate is about her bringing up her sexual assault so many times. Response by Critical_Sprinkles 88 3 days ago. She was fine with his apology and said she moved past it, then realized she needed a storyline.
Response by Shmishmo 3 days ago. Ew. Response by Art and Hot Sauce 3 days ago. She didn't bring it up too much. She could have brought it up way more IMO. Janet is the one who brought it up, and Janet had no right.
Someone replied by Swimming Act 2 days ago. Come on now. She has every right to bring it up until the cows come home if she pleases. She is the victim. Someone replied by EDPI Math 3 days ago. The fans made a saint out of the abuser. Disgusting.
Someone replied by Happy Chemistry 3058 3 days ago. Do I really think Jasmine continues to have trauma from Danny telling her to get drinks for Daddy? No.
Reply by Art and Hot Sauce 3 days ago. Not really your place to say, no.
Reply by Happy Chemistry 3058 3 days ago. It's my place to share my opinion on Reddit.
Someone replied by Art and Hot Sauce 3 days ago. Well, my opinion is that your opinion is misogynistic, and I'm also on Reddit smiley face. Reply by warm_state_9934 3 days ago. Jasmine is fine. Get Daddy a drink is not traumatizing. Response by Art and Hot Sauce 2 days ago. So you're just leaving out the part where he touched her inappropriately while saying it and then grabbed her girlfriend's ass right after?
Someone replied by Happy Chemistry 3058 3 days ago. And I was not policing you on whether you're entitled to share it.
Reply by Art and Hot Sauce 2 days ago. Policing? Lol. It's not your place to judge another person's trauma, but if you want to be a jerk and do it, you're free to do so. Do you see handcuffs anywhere?
Response by Putrid Tradition 787 3 days ago. I think they said they saw the texts.
Reply by Soph2_7 2 days ago. Everyone was so fast to shut him down multiple times. I loved it.
Someone replied by fun_loan_7193 16 hours ago. Zach. Yuckug. Over the top.
Comment number 2 by Clemeter Clover 3 days ago. Remember all those articles on Facebook, how he was fired over ring footage? Everyone, including me, thought it was fake, but it took multiple cast members to speak up on camera to make the producers do something. We got a whole season of this guy committing DA and then getting UW, and also still get substance abuse warnings? Bravo, do better.
Response by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. I really wish Brittany had called the cops that night. Though I don't blame her, I can't even imagine her thought process in the aftermath. It is clear, however, that Bravo actively edited out any talk of the Rosebush. Brittany absolutely must have talked about it on camera, but they deliberately kept that part out. So gross.
Follow up by Clemeter Clover 3 days ago. I agree. I wish she had too. I keep thinking of that silence from Janet and Co. about the ring camera footage, when all those other girls piped up. When you know they saw it too.
Further reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. They all must have, or at least heard about it. The only person who acted accordingly this season was Zach, who came for Jax every single moment he had the opportunity to. Ongoing Thoughts by Torino 888 2 days ago. Zach is the only real man on the show.
Ongoing Thoughts by Phoebe75 2 days ago. Whose show?
Still replying by Macus Beer Gut Baby Bump 2 days ago. And Jason saying Jax is such a great guy. Come on, Jason.
Another reply by Ananjan 3 days ago. Wasn't there a photo of the cops visiting their house a while back? I wonder if it's related to this.
Another reply by Small Black Cat 293 days ago. Yes, there was an article, and we still don't know why. It wasn't related to the divorce, because a process server did that. I really hope it comes up, because I need the tea.
Continuing by Lefty Lou O 3 days ago. That might have been when Jax trespassed into the house and the nanny had to call the cops to get him to leave. Follow up by Rinzi 515 3 days ago. He did so much shit wrong last year, it's hard to keep it straight. I remember when the photos came out, all the articles were looping in the police and the state tax lien that had just been put on their home. So for a while I thought the police personally delivered the paperwork tears of joy.
Another reply by Legit Prosecco 2 days ago, just to provide some insight. When my ex pulled out a gun and threatened to use it in front of our young child, I didn't call the cops because I didn't want to antagonize him / give him a reason to take me out. He knew where my mom and friends lived. What if he hurt them looking for me that day? I need to be around for our son. So I planned the exit and got a lawyer ASAP. Yes, I should have called the cops. But when you're that scared with a child, you try to do the best you can to keep yourself and the child safe.
Continuing by Summershid Bafun 909 2 days ago. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yes, I can totally understand the various calculations that must be made in the interest of multiple people's safety.
Continuing by Turbolicious 1855 1 day ago. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm glad you had the foresight to be calm and plan. Brava! You survived, and I'm proud of you. Follow up by Nice Grab 4838 2 days ago. How would she call the cops? He broke her phone.
Follow up by Summershid Bafun 909 2 days ago. Very good point.
Follow up by kindly_interview _521 2 days ago, which is another 2 charges in and of itself. Yikes.
Response by Buckety Buck 2 days ago. Alex Baskin said that they will not include a content warning or a screen that tells people where to seek resources for help escaping domestic violence or romantic abuse unless the victim, Brittany, will publicly say, "He is abusing me." It's so fucking backwards. Even Jax admitted on WWHL that he abused her.
Follow up by Sophie King Amanda 2 days ago. I cannot overstate how much I hate https://preview red 8/4u6 hoi pld0 gf1 png width equals 744 and amp format equals png and amp auto equals webp and amp equals E885 del A 978769D5B0 AB68 1,379,858 EE2AE2B5 1,306,360. Follow up by Separate Smile 9,745 2 days ago. Just when I thought I couldn't despise Baskin anymore, I hear this. What an enabler.
Follow up by Buckety Buck 2 days ago. I don't think it was unilaterally his call to make, but he's the one who said it, justified it on the record.
Someone replied by Blonde on the Town 2 days ago. And yet, they give us a hotline for substance abuse at the end of each episode and not one for domestic violence? Are they actual fucking idiots?
Response by J_B_C_123 15 hours ago. No, just misogynists.
Response by deleted 2 days ago. Removed.
Reply by Fantastic Ride 5588 1 day ago. Bravo always allows abuse behind the scenes. Taylor Armstrong and Denise Richards are a couple examples. They wouldn't have done anything about Jax had people not spoken up. Response by Groovy Hummingbird 2 days ago. I wonder how much they could air if the footage was potentially being investigated for the divorce/custody agreements. There is also concern for Brittany's safety to show her talking about it in the season prior to her distancing herself from Jax.
Response by deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Someone replied by Hot Society 1993 21 hours ago. Multiple cast members, but not Janet and Jason SMH.
Comment number 3 by Leo BB 777 3 days ago. God, my heart really broke for Brittany this episode. Say what you want about her, but hearing him say he did everything he could to make her leave him making fun of her for saying she lost her sparkle and she finally feels good about herself, admitting about the physical abuse, and just them rehashing all the mental and financial abuse. It's just so dark.
Reply by IMMEDIATECOMEDIAN 3 days ago. It's also so messed up that he's still financially abusing her. He's disgusting.
Another reply by just_okay_thank you 1 day ago. Jesse is also financially fucking Michelle. Both of them are gross. This show is dark. Reply by OK_hat_6598 3 days ago. I hope she cuts contact with him completely and starts communicating with him through a mediator. The happier and more successful Brittany becomes post-divorce, the worse Jax is going to be in return, trying to tear her down.
Response by Collection Full 5254 2 days ago. Yes, this is the real danger now.
Reply by Sarah Vivi 3 days ago. I know people like to mock her, but the whole "stole my sparkle" is a common phrase. Mocking someone saying they feel like they lost themselves in an abusive relationship feels gross.
Response by Otter_Fool 2 days ago. Not only that, but Jax was the one who kept saying Brittany lost her sparkle when they did their Kentucky spinoff. He was telling her whole family that. Response by Freshly Frozen 2 days ago. It's so incredibly sad. Hearing her voice crack and seeing her visibly scared is heartbreaking. I'm glad Kristen was at least next to her and kept reassuring her verbally and physically. And Andy should have been dragging Jax through the coals, but it felt like he just addressed this as if it were just another storyline. He didn't even acknowledge Jax saying, "you should." To Brittany, I would take that as a threat, and I can't imagine what's going on in Brittany's head. It's so easy for people on the outside to feel like they know what someone else should do. Like Brittany, in these situations, but her employers and coworkers are supporting and enabling her abuser. Then a bunch of people online spend an exhausting amount of time criticizing her appearance, mocking her, and questioning the validity of her abuse from a well-documented abuser. This is a strong example of why women don't report abuse, why women stay, and why the patriarchy prevails.
Response by Sarah Vivi 2 days ago. Every dismissive and mocking comment shows me how ignorant people are.
Someone replied by EDPI Math 2 days ago. The fact that Brittany gets way more hate than Jax ever does is disgusting.
Someone replied by LeoBB777 1 day ago. IK, some people think it's cringe, but I think it's sweet. She's saying she got it back after years of what Jax was putting her through, smiling face with tear. Reply by Sarah Vivi 1 day ago. Who even cares if it's cringy? On the scale of Vanderpump, it's nothing.
Someone replied by Sofa King Amanda 2 days ago. Thank you for saying this. The people making fun of her are no better than her ex-husband.
Response by Panalones 2 days ago. Domestic violence is worse than making fun of someone on the internet.
Reply by Level Appointment 15 2 days ago. Making fun of someone who is openly going through domestic abuse, in my mind, is just as bad. Response by Darcilus Hart 2 days ago. And he sat there apologizing for how he made her feel. Yet when she was talking about Julian making her feel sexy, etc., he still piped up with, while he was dating 5 other girls to try to bring her down and make her feel dumb.
Someone replied by Guttergirl83 2 days ago, and he called her a tree trunk crying.
Response by Deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Comment number 4 by Sufficient Rush 8582 3 days ago. Despite the fact that Jax's DV didn't get the attention that it needed from Andy, I'm glad Brittany stood her ground in this first part and didn't let up whenever he tried to lie. It's great to see the others support her, but the way she was talking, she was ready to hold her ground with or without them, which she hopefully maintains the whole reunion and the rest of their lives. Now let's wait for Jax's crocodile tears. We all somewhat need a throwback from Sandoval's tears that didn't even drop from their reunion, lol. Reply by Frankie and Hans 1 day ago. I really enjoyed Brittany in this reunion. She was clear and direct and didn't gargle her words. She should be like that all the time. I feel like she usually tries to say as little as possible. Response by _Jahar_ 3 days ago. Andy should be fired next.
Reply by Sarah Vivi 3 days ago. Seriously, multiple franchises have been proven to edit out or hide abuse. For a predominantly woman-centered audience, they don't give a shit about protecting women.
Response by that one girl who 2 days ago. Because, as much as we love Bravo, Bravo hates us. Women.
Someone replied by Sarah Vivi 2 days ago. It's absolutely insane.
Someone replied by, deleted 1 day ago, removed. Comment number 5 by Uncle Rumpy 12 3 days ago. Nia's face when Jack said the boys' chat is locker room talk, tears of joy. Comment number 6 by Punky_Brewster 3 days ago. Jax is absolutely sedated on something in this reunion. Reply by just_blank_looking 3 days ago. He's the calmest he's ever been. It's unsettling.
Someone replied by Visible Buyer 1692 3 days ago. He's zoned out other than the huffing and puffing and fake tears. Response by It's a Wrestling Move 3 days ago. Like 40 beta blockers.
Someone replied by Sophie King Amanda 2 days ago. Probably shorts is Xanax. Reply by life_wall 2536 2 days ago. Would that come up in a drug test? Response by Sophie King Amanda 1 day ago. Yes.
Comment number 7 by longjumping_hornet_7 3 days ago. Anyone else feel like Andy was going in on Jesse more than Jax? Brittany sits there and says he pushed her into a bush and he didn't ask any follow-ups. Someone replied by Dolly 724 3 days ago. I think they definitely focused more on Jesse in this episode, but that's probably because they want to save the best, aka most explosive, for last. I'm guessing episode 3 will be heavy on Jack/Brit.
Continuing by Nate Moon 2-3 days ago. Yup. And I'm betting most of episode 2 is going to be about Darkside Danny. We're going to get a whole episode about this stupid shit again.
Response by Buckety Buck 3 days ago. Yes, Jax is/was their prize pig. Anyone new was an easier target.
Someone replied by Swimming Act 2 days ago. Andy Cohen is disgusting human being. He will always side with a toxic person. Always.
Response by Leo BB 777 3 days ago. Also editing could play a part in it. Reply by just_OK_thank you 1 day ago. Ugh, it's infuriating. Jesse is an asshole and doesn't get enough shit from the fandom emo because they don't like Michelle as much, I guess. But he's a real jerk and obviously has been horrible to her. But I agree, not sure why they are treating Jax with such kid gloves. He's a freaking criminal abuser. Trash. Someone replied by Brogan 1978 3 days ago. Yes, and Michelle is a completely insufferable cold human being. He's better off without her. Reply by OK_hat_6598 3 days ago. If that were true, Jesse wouldn't be going out of his way to make their split so contentious. He may be charismatic, but I think he was an absolute nightmare to be married to. Reply by just_OK_thank you 1 day ago. 1000% agree with this statement. Can't stand when people are like, mistreating Michelle is cool because I don't particularly like her. Barf.
Someone replied by Jumping Joe 1469 2 days ago. Andy is afraid of Jax.
Comment number 8 by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. I am so shaken by Brittany's domestic violence admission. Shaken that Andy literally ignored it. Shaken that everyone on that stage clearly already knew about this and yet still engaged Jax, as though the only problem was his verbal abuse, which alone is a major issue. But physical violence seriously raises the stakes. And Bravo is really handling this irresponsibly. Sunkel must be why they fired him ahead of this airing. Someone, not Andy's dumbass, finally flagged this after they saw the episode.
Someone replied by Anlix 3 days ago. But also I noticed they have still not added the DV hotline at the end of the episode, but had the substance abuse one. It's an interesting choice. I thought after this episode they'd do so.
Another reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Yes, I agree. Even if Jax is disputing making contact with her, I think the throwing of the furniture alone would constitute domestic violence.
Nested comment by Exciting Farm 1786 3 days ago. Yeah, I thought that already constituted DV and just assumed Bravo was handling this horrifically all season.
Ongoing thoughts by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't until this episode that I realized he actually hit her with the furniture. For some reason I thought it almost hit her. This is all so disturbing.
Ongoing thoughts by LGZ 7981 3 days ago. And then when she said he threw other objects. Chairs, her phone, a laptop, her Stanley Cup. I cringed so hard thinking about the damage a heavy metal Stanley Cup could do as a projectile.
Deep reply by It's a Wrestling Move 3 days ago. That would also be an interference with 911 phone calls charge. Him throwing and breaking her phone and computer. Forms of communication.
Ongoing Thoughts by Logical Roll 9624, 23 hours ago. I think in California that's a felony, but that's never prevented Jax from doing WTF he wants.
Nested comment by Hopeful_A_3114 3 days ago. He bruised her leg. He could have been arrested and for the cocaine. Further reply by Hopeful_AD_3114 3 days ago. It could also be child endangerment, even if he wasn't in the room. Still replying by Hopeful_AD_3114 3 days ago. He could have came in the room at any time.
Nested comment by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Yes, I think Jax knows that, which is why he loves to say, "Thank God Cruz wasn't in the room," as though it was a break-in and not his actual actions.
Further reply by Visible_Toe 768 3 days ago. Maybe he was, but they lied about it. Look at how that baby reacted when his father went to pick him up. He went fetal. And maybe that's why Jack's ass keeps saying it. If he didn't see that incident, I'm sure he's seen plenty. It tracks.
Further reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Absolutely. How are we to believe that this was the first incident? And, like others have said, Cruz can still hear, even if he didn't see the violence. How frightening. Nested comment by Foreign Weekend 7092 2 days ago. Just watched the Peacock extended version. She says the Julian incident wasn't the first time.
Still replying by Tiny Employment 8020 2 days ago. And how would he have not heard that chaos, the screaming, furniture hitting the ground, and if she was pushed in a rose bush that's outside the house? I don't buy that he didn't see it.
Still replying by deleted 2 days ago. Removed.
Nested comment by TheValleyTVShow mod team 1 day ago. Your comment has been removed for violating our rule against victim blaming. This is defined as assigning blame for a harmful event, such as abuse or harassment, to the victim instead of the perpetrator. We will not permit the denial of abusive experiences in this community. This includes, but is not limited to, denying that Jasmine and Melissa were sexually assaulted by Danny, denying that Brittany has been verbally, physically, or emotionally abused by Jax, denying that Michelle has been verbally or emotionally abused by Jesse.
Further reply by kindly_interview_521 2 days ago. It would definitely be domestic violence in the presence of a child, even if Cruz was in the other room. No wonder he cowered in fear the day Jax went up to hug him. Still replying by Nate Moon 3 days ago. 100%. Like Danny touching Jasmine's leg is sexual assault. Jax 10,000% assaulted Brittany.
Still replying by Tiny Employment 8020 2 days ago. Yet Jason is still friends with Jax, but attacks Danny. Make it make sense. Neither Janet or Jason piped up on any of that stuff that Jax did.
Nested comment by Dats_Awk 2 days ago. The preview for part 2 was so annoying. Jason just yelling at Danny. Dude needs to get a grip and reevaluate himself. I cannot hand DDDDLE anymore discussion about Danny/Melissa/Jasmine. It was all season.
Still replying by Fractal Faye 2 days ago. Janet's recent weight loss and reunion admission suggests she shares Jax's habits.
Nested comment by Chi Jackie 2 days ago. 100%. Is she actually saying she's abusing Adderall and using it as an appetite suppressant?
Still replying by Small Black Cat 293 days ago, screaming profanities at her and calling her names, doing it in front of their child. That sounds like verbal abuse to me. Also, especially fuck you, Jax, for losing your shit like that with a child around. You best believe that it impacted him in a terrible way.
Nested comment by Rinzi 515 3 days ago, not to mention the financial abuse. He stopped paying the mortgage as revenge and completely fucked her over.
Nested comment by I See the TV 2 days ago. It absolutely does. Destruction of property is considered domestic violence. Nested comment by deleted 3 days ago. Removed.
Follow up by Garnier Fruit Trees 3 days ago. Then Bravo would have to admit that they showcased an abuser and most likely intend to showcase him again in the future.
Nested comment by Playful_Succotash_33 days ago. Well, they apparently are considering Jeremy Maddox, so clearly that's not a concern for them.
Nested comment by Garnier Fruit Trees 3 days ago. I do not understand the Jeremy Maddox potential addition. Not only is he a documented abuser as well, but when he was on VPR, he literally had the personality of a potato.
Nested comment by RSHNI67 3 days ago. What could go wrong by adding a DV perpetrator and drug dealer to the show? /S.
Nested comment by playful_succotash_33 days ago, with zero personality to boot. Further reply by playful_succotash_33 days ago. You're right, it's all around a bizarre consideration.
Further reply by Frankie and Hans 1 day ago. Yes, he couldn't even get a camera spot on VPR. He was just a background groper.
Nested comment by Tree Grows in Brooklyn 3 days ago. Don't forget Brock.
Nested comment by responsible_rap5659 3 days ago. Didn't Alex Baskin in an interview with Variety say that he didn't want to characterizing what Jax did as domestic violence because Brittany didn't call it domestic violence? So if someone on the show called Jasmine the N-word, but Jasmine didn't explicitly call it racism, it's not racism then? Also, Alex, you let Janet repeatedly say that what Danny did to Melissa was SA, even though Melissa did not characterize it as that. Like, you have no issue with that, but no, let's not characterize what Jax did as DV. Because Brittany hasn't given permission face with rolling eyes.
Nested comment by Swimming Act 2 days ago. Clapping hands, medium skin tone, 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 clapping hands, medium skin tone. Nested comment by Collection Full 5254 2 days ago. Full score, full score, full score. Still replying by Queen Bees 22 days ago. Hit the nail right on the head. Nested comment by Let's Stuff This Thing 88 2 days ago. It also puts her in more danger trying to force her to say it when we all know what it is. Fuck Baskin, fire him. He doesn't even make good TV. Nested comment by RSHNI67 3 days ago. They have done this before with JK, Sharts, Broke, and Russell Armstrong. Baskin loves abusive men. I hope there is one hell of a lawsuit against Bravo one day, so the pigeons come home to roost. Nested comment by Fractal Faye 2 days ago. Thank you. And Andy supports this by always either glossing over or making excuses for the abuse. Every single time. Further reply by RSHNI67 2 days ago. He also likes aggressive female criminals like Teresa and Jen Shaw.
Further reply by Rinzi 515 3 days ago. That's exactly why they're tiptoeing around it. They don't care about Jax or Brittany or Cruz, they care about their own asses.
Follow up by Blacksmith_actual 3 days ago. I was shocked to only see the substance abuse hotline and not DV.
Another reply by Aggravating Sweet 530 3 days ago. Yes, but I wonder if there's any advocacy among the producers based on the witnessed abused. Maybe? Doesn't really seem like it, and the editors do this to a degree where it's very weird and frustrating.
Continuing. By beginning set 4042 1 day ago. Yeah, Jax is the fucking victim. Response by Meg Pegleg 3 days ago. Jax threw out a veiled insult at her. Again right after this, when discussing Julian seeing Brittany, and he remarks, along with 5 other girls, pretty much making sure she knows she wasn't special right after she said Julian made her feel better about herself. He's such a abusive shithead.
Response by hopeful_ad_3114 3 days ago. Can you believe Janet taking compliments from Jax and smiling at him when she knows what happened to her supposedly best friend? I find that sickening.
Continuing. By Chaotic Influencer 3 days ago. This is my biggest beef with Janet. She knows her best friend was physically, emotionally, verbally, financially abused by this man. And her and her husband gas him up like he's some fucking hero. And yet Danny makes a mistake that he deals with and takes accountability for multiple times and is forgiven by the people it happened to, but he's somehow literally the devil reincarnated? Disgusting. Nested comment by Born Free 2018 3 days ago. And then Janet Miss uses Adderall and laughs about it. Nested comment by Chaotic Influencer 3 days ago. Hee, I'm so skinny now because of Adderall and Pilates. Laugh with me, you guys. So quirky. Tilde it. Still replying by LGZ7981 3 days ago. That was so gross. She should have just admitted to using a GLP-1 med if that's what she did. I say that with zero shade because I'm on one and it's changed my life. Nested comment by Ghost_Face 96 2 days ago. Agreed. I'm like, please. Def Ozempic. Which who cares, just say that's what it is. Nested comment by Responsible T 5998, 2 days ago. I appreciate when people in the public eye are honest about it. I used to try every diet and wonder why I couldn't just drop weight. My injection has stopped working, so I'm white-knuckling it right now. Further reply by LGZ7981, 2 days ago. Oh no, I'm sorry. Can I ask which one you've been taking? I'm on the highest dose of Zepbound. Still replying by Responsible T 5998, 2 days ago. I'm on Wegovy, and I think my last dose was on 40 UI/1, 0. I've heard amazing things about Zepbound. I can't really complain. The health benefits of losing that weight have really helped with my quality of life. I'm so happy for you it's been working. Further reply by LGZ7981, 2 days ago. Thanks! I'm paying out of pocket, which is less than ideal, but it's been an absolute game changer, so I see it as a good investment in my health. I really hope these meds become more accessible and affordable for anyone who wants them.
Still replying by hopeful_ed_3114 3 days ago. Dangerous, not quirky.
Further reply by Chaotic Influencer 3 days ago. She thinks she's quirky. Nested comment by Born Free 2018, 3 days ago. Adorable, right?
Still replying by Torino888, 2 days ago. I don't know why people have such a hard time admitting they use Ozempic. Literally. So many people use it, it's not a big deal. In fact, Ozempic sounds better than Adderall.
Further reply by Born Free 2018, 2 days ago. I want to know how she got a prescription for Adderall. It's been in short supply for a long time now.
Further reply by K-Band Crew 2 days ago. I take it. I have 0 issues, and I have an RX for extended release and for immediate release, different MG and reasons. I do have TRICARE, and they do generic, so that may be why.
Further reply by Fractal Fae 2 days ago. That explains why she and Jax get along so well.
Nested comment by It's a Wrestling Move 3 days ago. They probably just didn't expect Jax to get removed from the show because he's the star. LOL. So once again, they picked the wrong look. Still replying by Bright_Leader 1493 days ago. She's just acting normal, disgusting, repulsive, and condescending. Then again, what's new, Scissor? Blue Heart Cool.
Another reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Literally could not fathom it. Reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. And the fact that Andy literally ignored it and jumped to a question about asterisk her dating Julian and how long she waited? Shame! Sending hugs to all survivors. I can only imagine how triggering that must have been to see. Follow up by BelieveUbs 3 days ago. Andy is trash. He could and should have acknowledged Britt's pain. Also, he should never have given Jax that much time to cry and whine.
Nested comment by Accomplished Drop 764 3 days ago. No tears, just like Jesse. Nested comment by Cassia Gabrielle 2 days ago. Jesse can actually produce tears. He just knows how to turn them on and off when it's convenient. Jax pokes himself in the eyes, hoping to produce some, but it doesn't work for him.
Follow up by Deleted 1 day ago. Reply by Queen_Dare_Bear 3 days ago. And why do they keep allowing Jax to say he was leaving to focus on his mental health? Big Dusty MF. You are fired. It's just like him announcing that he had a cocaine addiction right before the episode came out, with Brittany confronting him before he went to, quote, rehab. Quote,
Another reply by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. Between this and Roa, Bravo is showing that they really don't know how to deal with serious interpersonal events on their reality shows. They need to adapt quickly.
Someone replied by Chaotic Influencer 3 days ago. I knew some vile shit was going to come out about him at the reunion, and that's why he got fired and lost his bar. He's always telling on himself no matter what.
Reply by Creative Use 3281 3 days ago. I would hope it's edited/not shown what else was said, and would imagine lawsuit reasons they are divorcing and probably dealing with it in court, as she does have full custody for a reason. But that's me being overly optimistic. Bravo could have at least gave a resource for DV, not just substance abuse at the end. Follow up by Summer Should Be Fun 909 3 days ago. That is my thought too. That they knew it was a part of the divorce proceedings, and that Jax is disputing it happened. So they edited out the back and forth? I want to watch again and see if I can identify a jump cut. Regardless, even if it's edited, that edit is very reckless. Response by Electric Jelly 513 3 days ago. This just proves any allegations about men, even with footage that prove it, doesn't ruin men's life in any way. Women having proof is not enough. Bravo needs to do better.
Someone replied by Fractal Faye 2 days ago. If anything, it makes their lives easier, since they can walk away from parenting and lie and cry to strangers and say it's about what's best for their son. Someone replied by I See the TV 2 days ago. Agreed. And even though Brittany kind of talked fast through the list of things he did, likely out of anxiety, if you really digested it, that must have been an incredibly scary night. We've seen Jax's anger on TV, and it's a complete blackout rage. Can you imagine him screaming, yelling, throwing things all over the house? I am surprised the neighbors didn't call the cops. I have zero doubts he has put his hands on her more than once. Response by EDPI Math 3 days ago. I'm not surprised, and I'm disgusted that Andy glazed over it. Andy thinks with his dick and probably is too in love/lust with Jax. Still, Jax could have murdered Brittany and Cruz, and I doubt the network would care. There should be zero reason or justification for Brittany to get any hate from the fans. But yet, there is something seriously wrong with Andy and the bigwig assholes at Bravo's management. OT. May Leah McSweeney not only win her lawsuit against Bravo, but get everything she is suing for. Enough is enough. Reply by Standold1094 2 days ago. Right now, I'm hoping it's bad editing, and they are going to come back to these issues and admissions in the next 2 episodes. Which is probably why Andy seems to gloss over things. Although he usually says, we'll get into this more later, but I really think they have to address this harder coming up. I still can't believe Jax reiterated that he never body-shamed Britt and called her a tree trunk after she just gave birth, when at least 6 people on that stage said they heard it and saw messages. Can this thing get any more lower and hateful than calling the woman who gave birth to his child fat and a tree trunk right after giving birth? She made a human being, you fuck. He really should just go hide out in Michigan and get a job at Subway, if they will have him. Someone replied by Turbolicious1855 1 day ago. I don't get why any of them are agreeing to film with him. Why isn't he in a trailer like Rachel on VPR? Actually, why isn't he in jail for DV? And why isn't Taup and Get Husband Jason speaking up as righteously about this as they were about Danny? Surely DV is not something they condone. Someone replied by, deleted 1 day ago, removed. Comment number 9 by Punky_Brewster 3 days ago. https://preview. redit/allm456 or ZWFF1. JPEG. Width equals 4032 and amp. Format equals PJPG and amp. Auto equals web and amp equals DBE 6B7 D6 C1B7 A216 EO 3 DBA1 CAO 55 FA 14 FA 9 F1 CF. That's not a long enough poll. Reply by No Strategy 2766 3 days ago. She thought she ate with that too. Then the awkward pause when everyone is like, that's not the right measurement for that phrase. LOL. If anything, she should have said 10-mile pole. Someone replied by, deleted 3 days ago, removed.
Someone replied by Nicola Girl 3 days ago. I realize he is a pig and has no redeeming qualities, but they're both gross. She's all ready to talk about his dick now, but she was happily sleeping with that man for many years. And he was just as disgusting before and while he was with her.
Reply by Joe's Cage Keys 3 days ago. The thing that annoys me with Brittany is that she seems to have learned nothing from her issues with Jax. I'm sure every woman on here has dated an asshole, manipulator, cheater, etc. I have. But once I was free from the person, I looked back and realized there were red flags early on that I ignored. I tried to figure out what made me ignore them, so that going forward, when I see a red flag, I don't ignore it. Brittany does none of this. Just is on to sleeping with porn stars and the like. She has a kid. I want to scream at her to get herself together for him. Cruz doesn't deserve a parade of Jax coming and going his whole life.
Reply by VS123456789 912345678 3 days ago. Abuse is different than being with a cheater or manipulator. I'm a therapist and work specifically with trauma. Some people don't even recognize it's abuse until much later, because of the magnitude and intensity of the feelings that will arise in doing so. It's protective in some ways to avoid, and they've been trained to ignore, cover, and excuse red flags and blame their own actions as reasons for the abuse. It can take years to undo. I understand the dislike for her, and can also recognize how trauma impacts behavior.
Someone replied by Joe's Cage Keys 3 days ago. Look, I understand what you are saying, but this is Brittany, who ignored Jack's red flags that were waving in her face for years. She had years of videos showing his red flags. Multiple people warned her. Trauma may have impacted her behavior, but now she's out of the relationship for over a year. Instead of reflecting on why she was attracted to this type of man, she's just continuing to pick them. So she'll get into another relationship with another a-hole, and when that blows up, she will just chalk it up to the guy's an a-hole. Then so on and so on. At some point, everyone needs to look at themselves and realize that there is something that is attracting them to these men, and why that is. There are always red flags in unhealthy relationships that people consciously overlook. I want to see Brittany getting some help instead because of sleeping with porn stars and who knows who else.
Someone replied by You Must Be Joking 888 3 days ago. I think cheating and manipulating are forms of abuse, actually, and leave a lot of trauma in their wake. I would think that you, as a therapist, would recognize this.
Response by VS123456789. 123456789 2 days ago. They are actions or behaviors, not necessarily abuse. Can the outcome still be traumatic for someone? Of course. But you're suggesting everyone who's ever cheated should be considered an abuser? That someone who lied to get out of something, manipulation, is an abuser? ETA. Also, I'm not suggesting that cheating and manipulation aren't parts of abusive relationships. I was responding to the comment that everyone has been cheated on or manipulated in a relationship at some point, and while I agree reflection is necessary to determine why you get with partners who do that, abuse, which is what we are seeing here in Brittany, can make it difficult to recognize that they are experiencing abuse. Reply by Bernella 3 days ago. That's the abuse cycle. Please don't blame the victim. Reply by Nikhil Girl 2 days ago. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm referring to the fact that Jax was a giant a-hole before she got with him, and then he had huge red flags waving in her face, with people also warning her about him. She still went for him. She still slept with him. His dick is just as dirty now as it was then, and she had no issue sleeping with him back then, so to raise it as an issue now seems pointless. Replied by Sarah Vivi 3 days ago. Ah yes, because a big chest means dumb. Response by the Valley TV show Mod Team 2 days ago. This sub does not allow body shaming, including comments related to cosmetic procedures or appearance snark.
Response by Sofa King Amanda 2 days ago. So having large breasts makes a woman stupid? Face with raised eyebrow.
Reply by Beginning Set 4042 1 day ago. 10 centimeters would have been a nice jab.
Someone replied by BLDYCNT 1 day ago. To be fair, I don't think they make a long enough pole.
Comment number 10 by Electric Jelly 513 3 days ago. The boys' group chat is not talked about enough. They're sending pics of women naked and making fun of their bodies amongst other degrading comments about women. Jax, it's just locker room talk. Nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face.
Response by Sofa King Amanda 2 days ago. Sounds like a lot of revenge porn going on in there. Eyes. Someone replied by EDPI Math 2 days ago. That right there should be grounds for immediate termination. Reply by Vibe 4 at 1 day ago. And where do you think he got the inspiration for using the phrase locker room talk as a dodge? If anyone needs a hint, Jack still thinks he could be president. Can't rule it out these days, TBF. But that's another thread.
Someone replied by just_okay_thank you 1 day ago. I really hope we get a good course correction in a few years. Crossed fingers, medium light skin tone. Crossed fingers, medium light skin tone. Response by just_okay_thank you 1 day ago. Toxic bullshit.
Reply by Beginning Set 4042 1 day ago. Trump said the same shit.
Someone replied by Cassia Gabrielle 2 days ago. The face Nia made was ironic given that her husband had to be kicked out of the chat and didn't even leave of his own accord.
Response by Ch95 2 days ago. Correct. Danny was fine being in it until he got kicked out for blabbing. Lol.
Reply by Cassia Gabrielle 2 days ago. I'm sure Jax's hatred of him was a part of it as well, but blabbing was certainly part of it. I don't like Janet, but I got a good chuckle out of, you know how a mic works, you're an actor. Quote.
Reply by that _literature _6853 2 days ago. He knows how the mic works. He's an actor. Under her breath while on mic.
Someone replied by Cassia Gabrielle 2 days ago. I mean, she wanted it to be heard. He supposedly didn't.
Response by that _literature _6853 2 days ago. My point, she should say it with her whole chest to the man she was mocking. She's always kind of a coward.
Reply by Lee Lukel 2 days ago. Coupled with his grab ass at parties, and then the other rumors, I feel as if perhaps there might be more to this person than meets the eye.
Someone replied by disastrous use 4397 2 days ago. I agree. I think Danny looks good compared to the other men, cuss they suck.
Comment number 11 by Practical Ad 1838 3 days ago. I wish Bravo would have put a trigger warning or disclaimer. Jax has committed domestic violence against Brittany. Abuse takes many forms, whether that's physical, emotional, or financial, and it's not acceptable. If you can relate to this, I hope you seek support. Heart Hands Medium Light Skin Tone. The National DV Hotline is amazing, free, anonymous, if you ever need support one. 800 799 7233 White Heart, ETA. Thanks for the award face, holding back tears, beating heart. Response by Sarah Vivi 3 days ago. I just want to add on to this. For anyone reading that is going through abusive situations, or is scared to admit it may be abusive, that person's actions are not your fault. Abuse can be complex and hard to accept. If the idea of reaching out to a domestic abuse hotline feels too serious, you can always reach out to 988 just to talk to someone about what you are going through. They can help assist and direct you, or even just listen to you. Someone replied by HJ Stay Weird 3 days ago. Pin this to the T-Ope. I really wish Bravo had the DV hotline up there.
Response by Darcellus Hart 2 days ago. It's truly unbelievable that Bravo haven't recognized this as domestic abuse. Brittany shouldn't need to explicitly use the words for it to be clear as day what this is. Comment number 12 by MS Benedetti 2 days ago. Jason and Janet always chiming in under their breaths, never a word about or to Jax. They have plenty of legal technicalities to dish out, but never towards Jax. They repulse me. Someone replied by Vanilla _either 2 days ago. I disgusted by them TBH. They think they are above it all.
Reply by Astaria Ariel 2 days ago. What? Quietly asking Jax to apologize for being a violent, abusive psychopath who endangers their son wasn't enough to win you over? Reply by that _literature _6853 2 days ago. Bare minimum when they have a comment and eye roll for everything else. Reply by Astaria Ariel 2 days ago. Honestly, I wish she was on Adderall cause. Then she wouldn't have shut up, and the hour would have been much more entertaining.
Response by deleted 1 day ago. Removed. Reply by upper_T _8169 2 days ago. Every single thing about Janet pisses me off.
Reply by Nanola 2 days ago. She gives me Judas vibes.
Reply by deleted 1 day ago. Removed. Response by OK Channel 2582 2 days ago. They pissed me off with that. You won't call out the cast member with real issues SMH. Can't stand them both.
Comment number 13 by This Autistic Chick 3 days ago. I know this is not a big important thing, but Jax's high heels are diabolical. He is so fucking insecure. It's fucking weird. I hate him. I can't dig too deeply into how much, actually, but I really needed to mention the shoes. Response by OneStan5448 3 days ago. https://preview. Red IC/SCVQA1AZ SF1 JPEG. Width equals 1488 and amp. Format equals PJPG and amp. Auto equals web and amp. Equals 448 A06 DD9 6 320A8 E002 D78 DD beef 22 D6 B07 CC221. I mean, that's not normal how the foot is pitched.
Follow-up by Rinsey 515 3 days ago. This looks even more weird than usual, like there's an actual hoof stuffed in that shoe.
Further reply by Talcum Jenkins 2 days ago. Bojack's Cokeman.
Deep reply by Visible Ad 5197 2 days ago. Best comment, open mouth smile.
Ongoing Thoughts by Melma Clark 1 day ago. Fucking dead. Further reply by Process Hot 3211 2 days ago. Well, he is a demon. Giphy 30HZDIIUKWARYCZH 5 meters.
Still replying by One Stand 5448 2 days ago. Giphy YAZGR 3NJ9DDI4. Yep. Another reply by It's a Wrestling Move 3 days ago. They're basically sneaker wedges. Probably size 9. Continuing by New Plantain 3979 3 days ago. I bet they are insoles to increase his height. Tears of joy. Another reply by Appointment Kind 4066 2 days ago. It's all I can look at. Tears of joy. He's so gross. Bart Simpson feet.
Follow up by that one girl who 2 days ago. It's all I could see when they showed him. It's like the hidden wedge high-top sneakers we all wore 15 to 20 years ago. Another reply by Career Oak 741 2 days ago. Here they are. https://www.amazon.com/Toto Invisible Height Increasing Elevator /DP/B 01N693WUG. Follow up by Phoebe75 2 days ago. He never takes them off.
Someone replied by Turbulent Trust 207 3 days ago. They look like the shoes Thelma wears on Mama's Family. Follow up by Virginia and the Wolves 3 days ago. Hello, fellow child of 80s TV. Follow up by Turbulent Trust 207 2 days ago. Tears of joy rolling on the floor laughing. Another reply by just_OK_thank you 1 day ago. I love you. Continuing by Turbulent Trust 207 1 day ago. LOL back at Cha.
Response by Narrow Pomelo 9699 3 days ago. Probably because he knows Zach is like 6 feet 3 inches and it makes him feel tiny.
Someone replied by Effective Arm 9099 2 days ago. When Zach confronted him after he got out of rehab, part of it was so extra amazing because Zach was towering over Jax while making fun of him. I loved it.
Response by Narrow Pomelo 9699 2 days ago. When everyone else was either avoiding or supporting Jax, there was Zach right up in his face calling him out Crown.
Response by Only Beach 1988 2 days ago. That was truly one of my favorite TV scenes ever.
Someone replied by, deleted 2 days ago. Response by Average Mumaphone 3 days ago. Oh my god, thank you. I could not work out why his foot looked so weird. It was taking all of my attention.
Reply by Lopsided Economy 122 3 days ago. His arches were curved like he was wearing a pair of So Kate Louboutins.
Reply by Loud Strawberry 3 days ago. They are so distracting.
Reply by Playful_Succotash_33 days ago. His shoes, men's shoe, are trash.
Response by Endon to Forget It 3 days ago. Thank you for saying this. I was locked in on those shoes the whole time, face with spiral eyes.
Someone replied by MTOR's GF 3 days ago. He's not even short. He's like 6 foot, but I forget that now all guys want to be 6 feet 3 because a couple women on TikTok sang a song about wanting a 6 feet 5 man in finance. Giphy 4ORVN BVJCVVQ.
Comment number 14 by OK Grand 9349 3 days ago. Jax, in his bloated steroid abuser phase of life, it appears.
Reply by Wine with Ice Basic 3 days ago. He's been in that for a while. Watch old episodes of VPR to see him getting biopsies in his chest because of all the supplements. Quote.
Another reply by Phoebe75 2 days ago. His cancer scare storyline, when it was roids all along melting face.
Continuing by Turbulent_Cobbler 463 2 days ago. Omgi and the way he held the cancer over Stassi's head. Unreal.
Reply by Ghost_Face 96 2 days ago. I thought his face looked so puffy at the reunion.
Response by Beginning Set 4042 1 day ago. Remember when he got Botox to look like less of a meathead?
Comment number 15 by Sudden Tangelo, 6041, 3 days ago. Very telling. He actually assaulted her by pushing her into the bushes. Now we know why Bravo took the step to fire Jax. I had a feeling that there was something else. I wrote it on another thread. Scary.
Reply by Pretty Little Wino 2 days ago. He also assaulted her by throwing a coffee table at her. I have no doubt his intention was to harm her with it. Comment number 16 by Beneficial Ask 4,733 days ago. I just knew that Jax had roughed her up, more than the coffee table being thrown at her knee. There is no way she didn't say that on the show. They had to have cut it out. What the hell? Why? I've posted this before because it was obvious to me that she was scared because he had touched her, not a table.
Someone replied by Shay95 2 days ago. He also broke her phone and laptop, which I don't recall being mentioned. That is also terrifying and very abusive, as those are her main forms of communicating with others. Absolutely horrific.
Response by Beneficial Ask 4,732 days ago. You so right. Yes, those two actions were also beyond abusive. I got so hung up on her being thrown into the rose bushes that I kind of overlooked that new info. I really want to know why they edited this info out of the show. It's total BS. I could be wrong, but didn't he say something like, "I never touched her"? Quote, question mark, question mark.
Response by deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Someone replied by Melodic Change 6,388 2 days ago. This. My ex held me hostage and physically abused me in a hotel room in another state for 7 hours, also a steroid user. He smashed my phone, and that was almost the worst part. When he finally left, I couldn't call my mom. Or anyone. I had to wait until my flight home, go into my workplace, and have the partner of my firm call my emergency contact on my employee file. It was fucking hell. Fuck this guy. And fuck Bravo for no trigger warning or DV hotlines.
Someone replied by 95 20 hours ago. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's a terrifying situation and extremely serious, and Bravo is clearly not taking it as seriously as they need to be. I really worry for Britt and Cruz. Reply by deleted 1 day ago. Removed. Someone replied by no_elderberry_189 3 days ago. They could have cut it out of the reunion? I think the evolution of this story could be more complicated than it seems. Response by Level Appointment 15 2 days ago. Remember back in VPR when Stassi, I think it was Stassi, in Mexico sat at the table when she walks past Jax and Britt's apartment, she constantly hears him yelling at her. That was my first BIG red flag. About the relationship.
Reply by Beneficial Ask 4,732 days ago. OMG. No, I don't remember that. Great addition to this convo. Ugh.
Response by Arnar 1 day ago. Isn't a coffee table being thrown at her knee just as bad?
Reply by Beneficial Ask 4,730 1 day ago. I know, it is horrible. But no, a man putting his hands on her and throwing her? Come on.
Someone replied by Arnar 21 hours ago. Both are horrible, of course. But having a heavy object like a table directed towards you seems potentially more dangerous.
Reply by Beneficial Ask 4,730 hours ago. Yes, that is true too. I guess the very next and last step is to grab your spouse instead of an object. Comment number 17 by Pulp_50N 3 days ago. I'm curious if Danny is going to go balls out after being insulted by Jason.
Someone replied by Gladiator with Tits 3 days ago. Here's hoping.
Response by Vanderpumpian_Vamp 2 days ago. Brittany should too, after Jason's comment about her breadcrumbing Jax. But as they all went happily off for dinner afterwards, looks like snidey Jason got away with propping up Jax and feeding his victim mentality and blaming DV actual victim Brittany. None of it is any way acceptable, but going after a man for a drunken-ass grab in a bar like Jason has, while supporting a man who, by his own admission, was drunk and drugged when he physically attacked his wife and smashed up their home with their autistic child at that home. Is Jason really going to get out of the reunion without being challenged on his hypocrisy and fucked up values?
Someone replied by Humboldt_Humans 3 days ago. Lettuce folded hands.
Reply by K. Steinaway 2 days ago. I hope everyone reminds Janet and Jason to not stress Nia out due to being pregnant.
Reply by Troubled Morange 835 2 days ago. Did Jason insulted him in the reunion? I did not watch it yet.
Reply by Pulp_50 2 days ago. He called Danny a clown and a douche in clips that haven't aired yet officially.
Someone replied by Troubled Merange 835 2 days ago. Ah, okay. So these were directed towards Danny PFFF. What a clown this guy is. Response by Ghost_Face96 2 days ago. I sure hope so.
Comment number 18 by Unknown KC43 3 days ago. I really don't get how Andy and Janet were going so hard at Jesse, but barely said anything to Jax.
Reply by Dangerous Change 2136 3 days ago. Andy's goal is to air out Jax, but in a way that makes him redeemable, even though he isn't. Comment number 19 by HeftyAd2780 3 days ago. I don't understand why Bravo glosses over domestic abuse. I feel they don't like Brittany.
Reply by LGZ7981 3 days ago. She still deserves to be safe and supported.
Continuing by HeftyAd2780 3 days ago. Of course.
Reply by Greedy_Lake1173 3 days ago. Because they make money off of domestic abuse.
Someone replied by Wait Like What? LOL 7456 3 days ago. My guess is because of legalities. Jack said his job with Bravo was on the line, and I imagine legal team at Bravo, not Andy, would not allow certain things to be discussed. Someone replied by _blank_, looking 2 days ago. 100%. Reply by EDPI Math 3 days ago. They don't. Bravo doesn't like women, and that includes lesbians, black women, Latinas, and Asian women. Never has, and sadly never will. Someone replied by deleted 1 day ago. Removed. Reply by Real Little Urker 2 days ago. They don't like women.
Comment number 20 by accomplished_sir_868 3 days ago. I did not love Janet's Adderall and Pilates comment. That's a thinly veiled ED comment in my eyes.
Response by Britsbeer Cheese 3 days ago. She meant Ozempic and scrolling on Reddit for 11 hours a day. Quote.
Reply by Nyanola 2 days ago. Tears of joy.
Someone replied by Summershid Befun 909 3 days ago. Yay, I didn't like that either. She said it like it was cheeky and amp, edgy rather than disturbing.
Response by Explain Like Him 666 3 days ago. After spending an entire season acting holier than thou about alcohol and drug abuse, face with rolling eyes. Reply by Real Little Urker 2 days ago. Exactly. She's literally abusing prescription meds. Response by Get Her Done 24 3 days ago. Which is fucked. I have to take stimulants to function well enough in this society, and the appetite suppression is a genuine issue for me, to the point I am constantly dodging concerns over my weight. It's insensitive and extremely tone-deaf.
Someone replied by Fangirl5301 2 days ago. Same, one of the reasons they switched me from Adderall to Vyvanse when I was 9 years old was because I lost my appetite and wasn't eating.
Someone replied by Yosoi Casey 3 days ago. I had the same appetite suppression. When people commented on my weight, I would try and make light of it too so we could move past it, as it was not something I enjoyed talking about. What was she supposed to say if it was the meds?
Response by Summer Should Be Fun 909 2 days ago. Saying Pilates and an appetite suppressant would actually just be honest.
Replied by Reddit NOOB33 1 day ago. Exactly. Pilates and amphetamines would have been the same. Response by The Speed of Pain 2 days ago. She said it because she thinks she's Stassi. It's really sad. Reply by Life_Wall 2536 2 days ago. She's a Stassi wannabe.
Response by MToursGF 3 days ago. Yeah, she forgets this isn't the Kate Moss era anymore. No one thinks it's cool or normal to take speed to lose weight.
Response by Mufaletta 3 days ago. I was genuinely confused by that. Is she admitting that she's deliberately misusing Adderall as a weight loss drug? Or did she just happen to start taking Adderall for legitimate reasons and it happened to make her lose weight? Or was it supposed to be a joke? I'm worried about her.
Someone replied by Yosoi Casey 3 days ago. ADHD meds had made me lose significant amount of weight, while also helping me with my ADHD symptoms. When she said it, I understood her BC. When people brought up my weight loss, I'd get uncomfortable too and say it's the meds. It's not misuse, just a side effect.
Response by Rinzi 515 3 days ago. Some people do use it solely for that very reason, though, just to lose weight, not because they have ADHD.
Someone replied by Yesoi Casey 2 days ago. Of course, but to assume she was using it for weight loss instead of needing it doesn't seem fair to me.
Response by Mufaletta two days ago. So did she just start on them? Is this a new thing for her?
Response by Yosoi Casey 2 days ago. Well, they aren't recommended if you're pregnant and probably breastfeeding, so maybe she is on it now that her kid is older? I'm just saying. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, and was shocked how much it messed with my appetite.
Reply by, deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Someone replied by Fangirl5301 2 days ago. As a 25-year-old who is diagnosed with ADHD at age 8/9 and needs ADHD medication to function in life, hearing her admitted to using Adderall to lose weight when that's not its intended purpose. But a side effect infuriates me because it makes it harder for me to get my medication to function in life.
Someone replied by Real Little Lurker 2 days ago. Incredibly disturbing to actually advertise on TV that you're abusing Adderall. Andy was so taken aback. Someone replied by Reddit NOOB 33 1 day ago. Bingo.
Reply by Arbobex 2 days ago. I can't stand Janet and agree it feels like a thinly veiled ED comment. I will say, though, I appreciated the honesty. I am so sick of people in the public eye losing a bunch of weight and lying through their teeth, saying that they achieved it by eating clean and working out. Arguably, I think claiming that losing that much in such a short time is achievable through healthy, sustainable methods is more harmful, but I do also see the other side where it also could come across as promoting/normalizing ED behaviors. No easy answer to this one, but I did acknowledge the transparency as having some merit.
Response by C_Mulberry_6245 2 days ago. Basically, I'm not eating. Reply by Bias_Cuts 2 days ago. Full score, as someone with a long and varied ED history, this really rubbed me the wrong way. Comment number 21 by Moonlight Chanel 3 days ago. I feel bad for Brittany. Jax needs actual help.
Response by Snoo Compliments 8874 3 days ago. Jax needs to stop taking roids.
Response by Moonlight Chanel 3 days ago. Agreed. Response by Troubled Merengue 835 3 days ago. Among other things, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
Reply by Disastrous_. Use 4397 2 days ago. There is no amount of help that will be able to turn it around for him.
Reply by Moonlight Chanel 2 days ago. Ugh, that may be true, dealing with my abusive mom. 9 months in jail, no changes. Reply by, deleted 3 days ago. Removed.
Someone replied by the TheValleyTVShow mod team 2 days ago. Your post has been removed for inclusion of hate speech/words. Comment number 22 by Alan Jameson 3 days ago. When Brittany accused Jax of taking steroids. Giphy. CIYEYHREQUGDJ GFJRL downsized.
Comment number 23 by One Aquarius Rising 3 days ago. Janet and Jason adding their 2 cents on every topic that had nothing to do with them. That was painful.
Response by Dulled Sparkle 3 days ago. They are so lame.
Someone replied by One Aquarius Rising 3 days ago. Legit, can they get their mics cut PLS? Reply by Beginning Set 4042 1 day ago. Boring AF.
Someone replied by Dangerous Change 2136 3 days ago. They have to weigh in on everybody else because they don't have their own storylines.
Response by One Aquarius Rising 2 days ago. Exactly. Like, wow, they got line tattoos. Cool.
Reply by Phoebe75 2 days ago. They are so unbelievably beige. Someone replied by that one girl who 2 days ago, Giphy 30XQNDG9 BSWDLJN8VA. Response by deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Comment number 24 by Desperate Drawing 2206 3 days ago. Janet is an absolute idiot for saying it seemed sexist about a man, stepdad, in the same house as a child. She's ignorant about the statistics of SA.
Comment number 25 by Eucalyptus 258 2 days ago. This, what a hill to die on Janet, tears of joy.
Comment number 26 by Wait Hold It 2 days ago. Yeah, Janet, it number seems *** sexist until you use a modicum of brain power, and 5 seconds. Although both parents are wrong for introducing their partners to their kids so early, the stakes are not the same.
Comment number 27 by Vanderpumpian_Vamp 3 days ago. Not insinuating Aaron is guilty of anything, but creeped me out when Michelle said they met because he and her very young daughter had an interaction a couple of times at a cafe, the first of which she didn't notice. Like smiling and waving at each other, I guess. Cute and normal to smile at a little kid looking your way almost every time, but personally, I couldn't risk then getting into a relationship with that person and moving my kid into their house in a short amount of time.
Comment number 28 by Desperate Drawing 2206 3 days ago. Very irresponsible, but now they're split, so maybe she'll learn. Comment number 29 by Turbulent_Cobbler 463 2 days ago. OMG, could you imagine those crazy eyes staring at your little daughter from across the coffee shop clown face?
Comment number 30 by deleted 2 days ago, removed. Comment number 31 by Ghost_Face96 2 days ago. Jack saying Janet and Jason live on Reddit, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. They're in here with all 40 of us, ha ha ha.
Comment number 32 by that _literature_6853 2 days ago. Didn't understand his point though. The Frank Draymond of it all. Tears of joy.
Comment number 33 by Ghost_Face96 2 days ago. True He Def lives on Reddit too.
Comment number 34 by Apple_Martini 3 days ago. The amount of commercials was out of control. I think there were more commercials than Showtime.
Comment number 35 by Tiny Clary 2 days ago. Thank you for reminding me why I have to be patient and wait for the next day to watch. Comment number 36 by Dougal3 3 days ago. Every time Janet or Jason says anything remotely critical of Danny, Naya, Luke, or Kristen, someone should be reminding them that babies could be lost due to their words. Fair is fair after last season.
Comment number 37 by deleted 1 day ago. Removed.
Comment number 38 by Shmishmo 7 hours ago. Well, neither of them are screaming in their faces the same way, so maybe not necessary. Lol. Comment number 39 by Saskia1522 3 days ago. Since he's in the comments too, Jesse needs to watch this and realize he looks like an ass with this divorce and custody stuff. Michelle isn't always upfront either, but Jesse's good humor and self-deprecation can only hide so much villainy. Go to real therapy, dude.
Comment number 40 by Sarah Vivi 3 days ago. He will get much farther on reality TV by being a goofball than a shit person.
Comment number 41 by Melodic Change 6388 2 days ago. It's giving this. Giphy 3B7 VIVNRJ 4Viz6 Ult downsized.
Comment number 42 by Turbulent Trust 207 3 days ago. Yeah, he's not looking great. He seemed to have read the room and changed his behavior with Kristen, so maybe he will with this.
Comment number 43 by Saskia1522 3 days ago. I'm skeptical because he cannot move past the cheating stuff, and a clear need for control when it comes to Michelle. I worry the Aaron breakup will create a holier-than-thou attitude that will make matters worse in real life and expose him even more on the show.
Comment number 44 by It's a Wrestling Move 3 days ago. Good. I enjoy Mess and Jax is gone. We need the next version, but without the abuse.
Comment number 45 by Troubled Morange 835 2 days ago. The only redeeming quality with Jesse is that he is a great father. Michelle admits it too. If he uses this as a motivation to change and see Isabella's mom as part of Isabella and Michelle Isabella's dad as part of Isabella, then both will move forward. Comment number 46 by Jupitersly 2 days ago. I don't know how great of a father he can really be if he is introducing his daughter to his girlfriend of 1 month and refusing to allow his daughter to say goodbye to her dying grandmother. Comment number 47 by Troubled Morange 835 2 days ago. I am using McKelly's words here that he is a great father. Michelle herself called him a really great father to Isabella. Comment number 48 by Jupitersly 2 days ago. I get that. My points are still valid. Both of their parenting styles leave a lot to be desired. Comment number 49 by Troubled Morange 835 2 days ago. Yeah, maybe you are right now that I think about it. Cold sweat smile, cold sweat smile.
Comment number 50 by Turbulent Trust 207 2 days ago. 1 week. She said she was braiding Isabella's hair a week after he met her.